It's a fucking mess in here. Yeah, I need to clean this up bad. So if you guys watched the last video, I told you guys that I was starting a swap on this car, and last night this garage was a mess because I was working on it. We got this K-member in, I got the old fuel lines out, I'm starting to run the new ones, pretty much getting everything ready for the swap. The old wiring harness is out, everything 4-cylinder is out of the car, and it is getting ready for this thing to be dropped in it. At this point, I'm just waiting on my caster camber plates that were supposed to come in the mail tomorrow, but because of delays they're not coming in until Thursday, so that's unfortunate. But that will allow me to mount my struts onto my spindles and get the coilovers into the car. Next on the list for that car, I need to cut off this old coupler so I can go ahead and use this metal U-joint right here. This is going to pretty much strengthen up my steering because right here it's rubber, and this is an old rag joint. So once I put in this metal coupler right here, it's going to make the steering a lot better. But this is for a later day. Today we are installing these turn signals onto my bike. This is what they look like. They are sequential turn signals, so this one will come on first, then this one, then this one. It'll be sequential just like a newer Mustang. Also need to install this flasher relay because it does currently have LEDs on it, and the turn signals are really fast, so this will make the turn signals back to normal speed, and it will make the sequential work as it should. It's going to be a pretty easy install. Pretty much all I have to do is remove the seats. The flasher relay is going to be down here somewhere. Take out these old yellow nasty turn signals and put in the new ones. The wiring for that should be under here, and that is it. But all I'm gonna need to take that bike apart is a couple Allen keys, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I apologize if there's a lot of wind noise, guys. Today's a really windy day outside, but unfortunately we do have to work out here. I don't have space for the bike in the garage. First thing I'm gonna need is just take off, and there's opposite side. These are off, so I'm going to go ahead and remove those. You're going to need a 5mm Allen key. After you have removed your seat, you are going to disconnect your battery, so it's these two Phillips heads here, and then you're going to have to remove the gas tank. So in order to remove the gas tank, you're going to have to pull a bolt here. There's one on the opposite side. You're going to have to remove this bracket here, so there should be 4 bolts, 2 on each side. You're also going to have to pull these plastic clips that go right here. It's a plastic panel. They literally just unscrew with that bolt, and then you can slide them forward and take them off. They're just held in by a clip right there. And there's another 5mm Allen up here. That will then give you access to these 2 bolts, which are on the side of the tank. There's a 5mm here and a Phillips head right there. Once you get rid of these 2, you should be able to pop off the tank. Once you have opened up your gas tank, you can just lean it up or lean it up this way. I think it's easier just to push it that way, get it out of your way, but you will have access to your flasher, which is this piece right here, right there. And all you have to do is just take it out, disconnect it from these 2 prongs, and put in your new flasher. This is what the new one looks like in there. Now it does have a little bit extra wire compared to the old one, so I'm gonna go ahead and relocate this somewhere on the side of the bike, maybe closer to the battery, so that I can use this hole to mount it somewhere so it's not just rattling around. But that's literally the end of the install for this. So I have the back off now. It's literally just putting in your key and popping this off, but looks like somebody has made a mess with the old turn signal, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the zip tie, and there's some electrical tape here as well, so cut this and find out which is positive and which is negative, and put my new turn signals. Okay, so now that I have it apart, I'm assuming that these right here are my turn signals, and then this stuff over here is probably just for the LED fender eliminator that it has on the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and, for one, get rid of these old connections because this is not right. This is not how you should do this. But I'm gonna cut these off and then add my new ones and test it to see if it works. The way you would find out if which one of these is positive and which one of these is negative is you would turn on your turn signal, get an indicator light, touch it to the cable, and if you get an indication from the indicator light, then that's your positive one. The other one's going to be your ground. There's going to be no power going through it, so you'll never get a light. But I'm assuming from, just these turn signals that they put on there that black is going to be my negative and yellow is going to be my positive. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my new ones, touch it to these, and try it out. So now that I've touched it to these, I can confirm that it does work. So this is going to be my left turn signal, so I'm going to go ahead and take off the one that's on there and mount this one, and then I'm going to do the same with the other side. Obviously these connections, I'm going to solder them, and I'm going to put heat shrink. I'm also going to make them smaller because these are really long. So I'm going to cut off all the excess that I don't need, but at least it works and it looks really nice, so I'm going to go ahead and mount them up. Okay guys, so I have now soldered my connections. This is going to be a lot stronger than what these people did, which was just electrical tape them. So what I did was I cut it shorter because it is really long, so I cut it a lot shorter. I'm going to go ahead and finish shrink wrapping these and move on to the other side, and then I'll show you guys what the finished product looks like. This is what the new wiring looks like opposed to the old rat's nest. So everything is heat shrinked and wrapped. Same thing over here. This is actually the one for the LED light on the bottom. I actually shrinked it. I made it smaller. This used to be, about this long. So I made everything smaller, kind of more sturdy, and then it just tucks away, and it's not going to be this big old, rat's nest of wires. Then I can put this back in there, put this back here. This just snaps into place, and now that's not going to come off. Alright guys, I now have the bike back together, and it looks really good actually. I went ahead and removed the rear pegs as well, and it just cleans up the bike so much. So I'll show you guys what they look like. So that's LED and brake light on, and this is the turn signal. So just a small sequential turn signal. They are very bright. Now since I have that LED flasher in there, it flashes normally. It's not a really fast flash like it used to be. You guys can see the front has the flush mount LEDs, so those actually look really cool. But yeah, I'm so stoked with how the bike came out. Looks really nice. And that is actually going to be the end of today's video. If you guys did enjoy, don't forget to smash that like button, hit those post notifications. I upload videos just like this one each and every single Wednesday, so you don't want to miss those. The next video will be about this car. I'm going to be removing the pedals today as well, so I haven't been recording all of the 4-cylinder stuff because there are plenty of tutorials online of how to do that. But once I go to put the motor in, the actual V8, I'll go ahead and record how to do that. But yeah, that's the end of today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.